Hi there, my name is Melissa. This YouTube channel is going to explore your life, and your future. So, in today's video, I'm just going to try and briefly cover a little bit of what I will be talking about. But I'm going to start with a question. So, have you ever thought about what your life would be like if there were no limits? So I want you to think, wouldn't it be great if you could have all of your dreams? What would you be doing right now? Well, for me, I personally believe that you can have the life that you dream of. You simply need to make some fundamental adjustments in the way that you structure your life. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm really interested in life in general and learning about, what makes us tick and, general levels of happiness. That comes a bit from my past, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But basically what I've learned is there's actually quite a lot of research around which shows that there are a lot of people who really aren't happy in their jobs, for one, which is a big part of our lives. And what was really interesting around a lot of this information is that there's not a lot of the levels of income, so higher levels of income versus lower levels of income is not really a very good indicator of job satisfaction. How strange. So that could mean you're earning a huge salary and you still might not necessarily be completely happy. And then if you're in a lower paid sort of job, just because you get a promotion and a pay rise, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll actually be any more satisfied. So what do you think about that? So I guess in the next few weeks, I'll actually explore a lot of this research and talk to you about these sorts of things in my future talks. But for now, I'll give you a little talk and tell you a little bit about me and my journey and how I came to be doing this sort of YouTube channel. So I'll rewind kind of far back because it is a little bit relevant. I'm from a really, really small town called Rotorua, and it is in central North Island of New Zealand. Now, where I'm from, just to be a bit of a generalist on this, not a lot of people have huge, big ambitions to succeed. So a lot of people sort of stay there and complain a lot. That's not everyone, because there have also been some amazingly successful people that have come out of Rotorua. But on the whole, when you go to school there and you grow up there, there is kind of this feeling that this is it, and people don't really aim very high. That again, generalization. Me, I was always a bit of a visionary. I was always chasing a bit of freedom. I wasn't really convinced in working for the rest of my life. My dad was a successful business owner, and I saw him grinding and working his ass off, and he was never really around. A lot of the time, he'd go away for a really long time, doing all his bits and pieces. So I had in my memory a lot of dad missing piece. Yeah, so I kind of ended up stuck working, as you kind of do when you're starting out as a teenager, or I was at university, so I went and ended up getting a job. I eventually moved to Sydney, which is actually a really big deal to be someone from the small town that I was, to move to Sydney, even though it was not that far physically, I guess. I mean, it's far for people from Rotorua, but when you look at the size of the world, it's really not that far in the grand scheme of things. So I started on what I thought was my career journey in Sydney, and I actually fell pregnant very short time into that journey. So it was kind of around that point where I felt like a huge part of my identity, which had always been my career and being a successful person, kind of took a back seat a little bit. I had to now start learning how to be a mother and find, where was my mother nature, and I didn't really see myself as a parent So I was only young. That was 21 when I fell pregnant. I was 22 when I had that child. And basically, after that baby, I just got on my feet again and got a wonderful job running an office and an admin, and I basically did everything. I was the office manager for a small business, and I loved my work. And there's my children, my big child now, who's not so small. So I loved my work, and I actually fell pregnant with my second child, which wasn't actually expected. My IUD had failed. Now, the father of my children wasn't very happy about things, and so he chose to take a different path. He kind of went down a road of abuse of drugs and things like that, and I didn't really like it. So things kind of went to a bad place. We ended up fighting a lot. Long story short, I ended up leaving a victim of psychological abuse. That's something that I've written about in my book, so if you wanted to find the full story, you could read my book. It's called Domestic Violence on Ice. It's available on Amazon if you're interested. But anyway, I left, and at that time I was completely empty. I called myself a dead man walking. I didn't know what I wanted from life. I'd given up all my dreams. You know, in my head I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm a single mum now. I'm 24. I've got 2 kids under the age of 2. My life is going to be shit from here on. I'd given up all my dreams of travel. I'd given up my dreams of having a successful career. I didn't know how I would ever start my own business. I pretty much thought that was it, you know. So I don't know, probably about maybe 6 months or so after I left, I realised, you know, like, look, I have to do something with my life, otherwise I'm going to be this miserable, bitter woman that's just hating life and angry at the father of my children for the rest of my days, and I didn't really want to be that person. So I decided to work on myself a lot, and I did a lot of personal development through the following couple of years that happened. So I focused a lot on, you know, things like law of attraction, building my happiness, meditation, and I did a lot of writing because obviously I was always a writer. Now, what happened was a huge transformation. I was actively putting together myself to become the woman that I really wanted to be. Part of my journey meant that at some point I did a bit of a decline after doing a lot of work, and I kind of rolled back and I was like, hey, what's going on? So I went on a bit of a soul searching mission, and I jumped in my car and I drove and I landed in this place called Paihia. Now, Paihia was amazing. Bay of Islands, full of travellers and backpackers and all these people, you know, they were like from the other side of the world, you know, not even just Sydney, like they were from really, really far away. And they had quite often arrived in New Zealand, you know, saving enough for like a plane ticket and maybe a couple of weeks to live. And then they would just wing it. And, you know, they would just literally rock up in a town and run around accommodation places and search for, you know, working for accommodation and things like that. And it really opened my mind to the world of travellers. I thought to myself, gee, wish I did that before I had kids, you know, still kind of in my head realising I had this dream that I wanted to do these things, but also still at that time having this self-limiting belief that because I was a parent, it really wasn't going to be possible. So I guess fast forward to now, which is, it's been about 6.5 years since I left Paihia. I was in Paihia for about a year, and I married one of my high school sweethearts. How cool is that? And we travelled. We managed to go through Europe and Dubai, so the UAE, and we were married in Rarotonga, so part of the Cook Islands. It was like a fantasy for me. And I've gone and had another child and built this business, and now my heart says I'm here to inspire people. So I guess that's a little bit of my journey, just to show, you know, that despite what I went through, which was some quite heavy stuff, I still came out and was able to piece together a life for a future that I really wanted, and it's something that I want for my kids. So in my future, we're looking to move to Spain. It should be early next year if all things go to plan, because we've already pushed it back 1 year. And the opportunities therefore are endless, and how I came to be doing that is actively planning my life. So I guess for me today, I was really trying to do a quick rundown. I guess it didn't end up being that quick after all, but yeah, hey, this is me. This is what I'm about. I want you to have it all. I want to have it all, and I truly believe that we can. It's just a part of what you have to do. Actively plan for the future that you desire. So I'm looking forward to you talking to you again on our next talk, which next one I'm going to kind of just drill down and focus a bit more on just the living fearlessly, or developing your inner fearless. And yeah, we'll see you again on the next one. Thanks for your time. Bye.